Hello, everyone. How are you? My name is Sarah Hunstead. I am a paediatric nurse, a mum of two, and founder of CPR Kids. And at CPR Kids, what we do is we empower you with lots of good paediatric health information, particularly centered around paediatric first aid, especially for families, parents, and anybody who is caring for kids. And today we are talking about ticks. Now, oh, I know a lot of people go, oh, ticks, no, don't like these at all. Yep, no, they're not very nice little creatures. And I've had a few of them on my body at certain given times in certain places, and they aren't the most pleasant things to have. My children as well have certainly been covered in ticks. But we're going to really delve into what is the best way to remove them because there is so much information out there. Now, what I want to preface this with is that I am talking about Australian guidelines here. Here in Australia, we have a problem with what's called mammalian meat allergy or anaphylaxis. And so, what we need to be really careful of here in Australia is how we are removing the ticks. If you're tuning in from the US, then you go with the US guidelines. The anaphylaxis isn't such a prevalent problem in the US with this. And so, therefore, often tick removers are used, fine forceps and things like that. But that is not what we want to do here in Australia. Okay. So, first of all, before I go any further, if you can tag anyone down below who you think will benefit from this information, that would be fantastic, especially because there's so much stuff out there that people will Google that will say use tweezers to remove a tick, and we definitely do not want to do that, okay? We don't want to use tweezers or tick removers or anything like that to get rid of ticks, okay? Which I will go into the why in a moment. So please, the other thing we could do is if you give me a thumbs up or a wave, just so that I know that all of this is working properly, because we've had a couple of issues this morning already, so that would be great if you could do that. So first of all, I'm going to share my screen for a moment here. There we go. So you can see here that I've got the life cycle of a tick here. So you can see where we've got the nymphs around at the moment, being winter here in Australia. Coming into spring, we have those lovely big adult ticks as well, and then laying their eggs in summer and then the larvae in autumn. So what we're going to be talking about today is how to get rid of the nymphs and the adults, okay? Because that is something that we really do need to really get on top of. Now, this website here, this is Tiara, and you can see a lovely tick wandering across the screen here. I want you to bookmark this site, okay, because Tiara is Tick-Induced Allergies Research and Awareness. These guys are the gurus when it comes to what to do for ticks. Really, really important here. And they have got a fantastic video about how to remove a tick as well. So I'll put it in the comments below too, so that you've got this, and I will show you what to do. But everything that I'm talking about today is coming from here from Tiara, which is certainly the gurus of tick removal, and also ASCIA, which are the Australian Society of Clinical Immunology and Allergy, and that's where all of this research comes from. Okay, so now, first of all, let me just do that. There we go. If you have a tick-induced allergy, anaphylaxis, follow your action plan with what you are going to do. What I'm showing you today is that if you or your child doesn't have the anaphylaxis, so the mammalian meat allergy, the tick-induced anaphylaxis or allergy, if you have that, follow your action plan. Okay, really important. So, but I'm just showing you the first aid if you do get a tick. So first of all, let's start with the nymphs. So what the nymphs tend to look like is, can you see here on my arm, they often look like just little dots that sit in the skin, okay? Don't go in and dig them out with tweezers, okay? The reason we don't want to do that is if we go and scratch at the ticks, if we go and try and pull them out with tweezers, all of those sorts of things, then what we're doing is we are making them cranky, Okay. They are going, hey, no, stay away from me. I like this. I'm getting engorged with your blood and, leave me alone. So, what they do is they actually can inject more of their allergen containing saliva. And as that happens, then you're more likely to develop a reaction going on. So, the aim of the game here is to remove the ticks, whether they be adult or in the nymph stage or whatever, without irritating them. So we have the least amount of their allergen containing saliva or their toxin containing saliva injecting into you or your child. That's the aim of the game. So what we're going to do for these little nymph ones, right? Don't let your child scratch them. Okay. Don't do any of that. So we are going to put some lye clear on them. Okay. So what this is a permethrin cream. You can get this from your chemist. All you need to do is just go ask for this, tell them what it's for. They'll give you this, keep it in your first aid kit. Particularly if you are in a tick area, you have to have this in your first aid kit at home. And what's really important too is that that you have this, but that you also have an ether containing spray in your first aid kit for the grown-up ticks. And I'll get into how you use this in a minute. But so important. If you go bushwalking, things like that, I certainly have these in the first aid kit. So you've got to have it. All right. So if we go on holidays, go camping, this comes every single time. And we've had ticks all the time. We're a family that goes bushwalking regularly. The kids are just they're everywhere. They've had ticks behind their ears, all that kind of stuff. Because where ticks like to go is generally they like to hide out behind the ears here. They like to go in the hair, in the head. They certainly love the underarms as well. They like the groin. They like the butt crack as well. So it's one of those things. You can't get them anywhere. I've had one just poking straight out of my shoulder. Because, they're hanging off, their nice blades of grass or the bushes or whatever, just waiting for an unsuspecting human to brush across them so that they can land on you and have a feed. That's what they live for. So you can get them anywhere, but they do particularly like those other places. Okay. So one important thing before we go into what to do here is that prevention is better than cure. So wearing long sleeves, tucking your pants into your socks if you're going bushwalking or you're gardening in a tick area, tucking your shirt into your pants. Fashion, bring it back. Bring in the Harry high pants, but especially with the kids, tuck all of that in, tuck their socks into or their pants into their socks, that kind of stuff. So the long sleeves. And also when you are actually finished your bushwalk, all of that kind of stuff, you can take off if there are ticks around. Throw your clothes into a hot dryer as well, because that will then actually kill any ticks that are in your clothes that you're not realizing as well. Okay. Lots of other hints and tips about prevention on the Tiara website, which I will put down below so you can go into that later. But I will go back to our little nymphs that we have here. You're going to take your lye clear, and to use the Tiara catchphrase with the nymphs, you're going to dab, don't grab. Okay, so this is going on over the top. Okay, so we're dabbing just the cream over the top. I'm not pushing down onto it. I'm simply just smothering the cream over the top. And we're going to leave that on there. Okay, and I'm going to get you to watch the Tiara video so you can watch exactly how to do this. Okay, and that will actually kill those nymphs. And I'll just get that off there. So watch the Tiara video so you can see exactly what to do with that. But what I want to really get into is the freezing spray. Okay, I must admit I've never had any nymphs. Lots of people get the nymphs, especially around now in Australia, but I've had lots of the adult ticks, and almost immediately I get that headache. I just feel off, and I go, oh, I bet I've got a tick. Kids might not notice. Your child might simply say, that hurts, or something's itchy, or something's irritating them, or they complain of a headache. run your fingers through the hair. Try not to irritate the tick. It's probably not good to run your fingers through the hair. Now that I've said that, it's probably better just to part the hair and look and see if you can find a tick. That's what I had with my child. She complained of a headache and some irritation. I said, don't touch. I had a look. Right here was a tick. Okay, so you are going to get your freezing spray. You can buy this over the counter at the chemist. That's all you need to do, over the counter at the chemist. Keep it in your first aid kit. And what you are going to do for an adult tick, and I might just draw another one on because where I've drawn it is just not good for the camera. Here we go. We're going to pretend that this here is an adult tick. Okay, right here. You're going to get your freezing spray, okay, and over the top 1 centimeter above, so 1 centimeter above the tick, you are going to spray 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. It's not like it you can feel it, but it's not terribly unpleasant. And the aim of what that does is it actually freezes the tick. Okay. We're then going to wait a few minutes. The tick should just drop off by itself if it's dead. But if you have a magnifying glass, and what you can do as well is use your phone, if you don't have a magnifying glass, on the camera and zoom in as well. That's actually a great trick. I don't tend to carry a magnifying glass bushwalking, I'll tell you that, but I do have my phone on me. And have a look and see if the tick is moving. Okay, so if it's still moving after a few minutes, you're going to give it another 5 sprays with this. Okay, if it's not moving, it should just drop off by itself. Okay, certainly with one of my kids, she had a tick on her. It didn't drop off by itself. All I did was do that, then it just fell off, like it fell off by itself. But what you do need to be cautious of, and what Tiara recommend, is that if after those 2 sets of sprays that the tick is still quite embedded, it may still be dead, but it's still quite embedded, that you go and get medical help if it hasn't come out. Because if we use household tweezers to try and pull the tick out, then even if it is dead, we are still squeezing that allergen-containing or that toxin-containing saliva into our body, okay? And that's what we want to avoid. So hopefully the tick will just drop off by itself, okay? And we're just, done, okay? Certainly I could see that this tick was completely dead on her. It literally just needed a blow and it tumbled off. She probably could have, just moved her arm, but she was very much like this, and it would have fallen off. But if they are still embedded in there, then going and seeing your GP or going to the clinic or something like that to get the proper fine forceps to remove the tick from the head without squeezing the body. Because to take another saying from Tiara, from Professor Cheryl Van Noonen, who was the person who basically started all of this amazing research into what's happening in Australia with tick allergy and anaphylaxis, that she says, freeze, don't squeeze. So that is the most important part. We are going to freeze, don't squeeze. Freeze, don't squeeze for the adult ticks, and dab, don't grab for the nymphs. Okay, they're the 2 things that we really need to be doing when it comes to the ticks. Now, those of you who are tuning in from other places around the world, it may be different where you are, but the reason we do this here in Australia is because of the tick anaphylaxis. That's the reasoning why. Okay, so I hope that has been useful. So remember, I will actually put the references from Tiara into the comments below so you can watch that video, particularly around what to do with the nymphs, with the lie clear. And remember, if you're in a tick area, if you do go bushwalking and so on, if you've got them in your backyard, these are 2 friends to put in your first aid kit. So are there any questions? Now is the time to pop them in down below. Please go ahead and ask any questions. But I'm really excited here because we have, I thought we had a little bit of a reach, but we've got somebody watching from Tunisia. Hello. Lovely. Thank you so much for joining us. That's really exciting. So yeah, that's great. I love that we have a worldwide reach here. That's a really, really good thing. So at the moment, it doesn't seem that we have any questions. I hope that that has answered everything about the ticks. Remember, watch the video so you can learn about prevention, about using the cream on the nymphs. And remember, freeze, don't squeeze, dab, don't grab. Okay, we'll see you soon, everyone. Okay, bye.